hungry for it, man. You know I gotta get it. I hit the ground running. You know I gotta get it. I see that money coming. You know I gotta get it. I gotta get it, gotta get it. Yeah, I gotta get it. Whatever's necessary. You know I gotta get it. Bullshit is secondary. You know I gotta get it. They say we legendary. You know I gotta get it. I gotta get it, gotta get it. Yeah, I gotta get it.
What up? It's your homeboy Marlon Pimp, aka MTP, and welcome to another special edition of the Pimpoholic Tv Podcast. And as always, I got a very, very, very special guest here. And this lady right here, her credentials go real long. So before I introduce her, I gotta read these off so y'all can know who y'all looking at right now. For real, this is special. All right, first of all, 2022 SEL Awards Impact Model of the Year. She won that award. And is also nominated for the same award in 2023. She's the head of makeup for Moneybagg Show, new movie and biopic. She does makeup also for Love and Hip Hop. She's appeared in Tyler Perry's series, which is one of my favorites, Zatima. Music videos. Now, when it comes to the music videos, she's been in music videos for Usher and New City Girls for a song called Good Love. She was in T.I.'s video, What's It Come To, Carson Lewis and Quavo, Toxic, Young Gravy and T-Pain, Hot Tub. This is just to name a few, but she's worked also and did cameos of artists such as DC Young Fly, 42 Doug, Young Dolph, rest in peace, Boosie, Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins, Daddy Yankee, Lil Duval, Keith Sweat, Rich Homie Quan, Travis Porter, and the list goes on and on and on and on. I'm talking about model Ashley Rogers. Welcome to Pimpoholic TV, and how you doing, young lady?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good to have you here. How everything going, man?
Good to be here. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And man, this lady just met last week at the Epic Classic 2022 Chattanooga Hip Hop Summit. We kind of built a relationship, so I had to get on the show once I realized what she was into, what she had to offer. So we're gonna go into that. I got to give a shout out to my sponsor, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Again, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Let me tell you all about the Chattanooga Cigar Club. The Chattanooga Cigar Club is Chattanooga's premier cigar and hookah lounge, open Thursday through Sunday, with ladies free on Friday and live music up until 10 o'clock. Keep in mind, you can also rent the building for your own events from Sunday through Wednesday. Shout out to my guys, D. Scott and Kurt at the Chattanooga Cigar Club. For more information, log on to ChattanoogaCigarClub.com. Again, salute to my sponsor, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Much love. Yeah. So let's get started like this. What were you born and raised at?
I was born and raised in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay. So explain your childhood. Like, how did you come up? How many siblings you got? What was it like?
So my mom and dad put me in dance as a young kid, and I ended up graduating from the University of North Carolina School of the Arts in Winston-Salem. And then from there, I moved out to LA, got an agent out there, and I danced professionally for 10 years, which transitioned into a lot of my TV film modeling and acting work as well. So a lot of the connections and network that I made from dancing led me into a lot of the artist work and the TV film, the work that I do now.
That usually happens like that too, because I was just gonna ask you how to actually get into the music video scenario, but it came from dancing in the club, and then from there you spun off into that.
Right.
So if you can remember, let me say this before I get to that. When it comes to dancing in the club, what's the typical reputation that people have when it comes to dancing? Because you got some girls who are just tricking. Then you got some girls who, I'm only doing this to get through school, but I'm not really like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What kind of feedback would you get how do people come at you when you're doing that?
Yeah, I mean, there's, definitely, all kinds of dancers around the board. There's, a lot of dancers that do, do these things because they're passionate about it. And then there's a lot of dancers that, this is their hobby or just like a side hustle. So, there's a lot of different types of dancers and levels, but I've definitely been passionate about this industry for a long time.
Right. So had you not danced, do you not think the doors would open to go towards music videos, or do you think would happen for you regardless?
No, well, no, I don't think so, because I think dance really was the foundation for me. I think that, taught me a lot about music in general. Just learning, how to move to music, how to hear music. And I think modeling and acting, they're both, performing, they're all three like performing, types of work. And so I think I learned a lot about like relationships and how to, bring out that character when I'm, working these different types of roles. And just really learning music and having that appreciation for music, has led me in, these different venues that, these different, paths that like I wouldn't imagined I would have taken.
Okay, you said a key word that stood out to me. You said relationships. And I want to expound on that, because I tell a lot of artists in my city, a lot of artists, man, relationships, network, build relationships. Relationships will put you in places that money can't. So explain how important it is to build. Explain how important it is, how it's helped you just because you have relationships with people. Explain some of the things that you can see benefits simply from building a relationship.
I've been in this industry for 13 years, and hands down, like, your network is your net worth. Like, every connection that you make on every job or every outing, every event, anytime you're out meeting people, it's always a way to grow your network. And there's so many opportunities that are given to artists and entrepreneurs in this industry, because they've, worked with people prior, they've gotten referred by someone, or because someone had a good relationship with them on set, they heard that they were someone, that they needed to get to know. Honestly, today, most of my work is from my net worth, my network. It is, from, building these relationships and keeping these relationships and having that consistency within your business. Opportunities are there. Sometimes for talent. Yeah, talent is part of it, but there's that whole other part of it that, people want to work with people that they, enjoy working with, they can get along with, that, that they know that, or, they can see that they're working hard and that they're being professional and they're showing up on time, like just those little things go so far. And yeah, like you really can build a career out of, any genre of this industry that you're a part of, if you just really build those connections, because everyone's growing, at a different rate, doing a different thing. And if you keep those relationships built in all these different places, you're going to have all these opportunities. We're all going to be growing together. So that is number one for me. Like, I swear by that. I'm like, that's number one.
Thank you. I just wanted you to expound on that, because I appreciate to a lot of y'all. So relationships, network, and most importantly, do not burn bridges, because you don't know who somebody else knows and what position they're going to be in after you burn that bridge. So do not burn bridges.
Right.
Your relationships. You heard that from her, and she's in the modeling industry. It goes across the board. Relationships is important.
Right.
What's up? I got to give a special shout out to my sponsor, the AM Group LLC. Let me tell y'all about the AM Group LLC. The AM Group LLC is an independent distribution company that offers essential services such as internet, home security, energy, identity protection, wireless, and more. Secure your homes and businesses. Get a free consultation from my homegirl, Miss Nori. Email the amgroupllc@gmail.com to schedule your appointment. You can also visit www.isnorinori.com. Click the services tab to check out all the deals that they offer. Salute to my sponsor, the AM Group LLC. Much love. Y'all go check them out. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If you can remember, what was your very first music video?
My very first music video. Oh man. Oh, this was probably like 10 years ago.
Brainstorm.
I think my first one was with Justin Michaels. He was this like big DJ. So that was kind of cool because, you know, I was interested in some of his music, and, you know, that was exciting for me. But man, you know, that seems like a lifetime ago. It really does.
Hey, so okay. This is your first ever, you've been dancing, now this is your first ever music video. Explain your experience on set, like when you first coming in, not knowing what to expect. For other girls who are trying to get into this. So your first music video, you come to that and explain the experience. How did it go? Give us the layout.
Yeah, it was definitely scary. You know, I think when you're young and you get into the industry, it seems very intimidating. But, you know, it came with like practice and, you know, doing this a lot and, you know, everything in life is practice. You know, once you practice it enough, you know, you become like, I mean, maybe a master, or you just become very familiar with, you know, the material, or, you know, what you're going to be presented with, like coming into a job. So I think for me, I think I was just a little, I was just learning, you know, I had never been in that situation before, and everything was new. And you think you learn everything, you know, getting up to that point. You think that, you know, you've trained all these years, or you've done all these classes, and you know what you're doing, right? But when you actually get into the industry, that's really where you learn most of it, because it's all those, you know, things that really you're only taught from experience.
Right.
So that it was a huge learning experience for me, but it was, you know, very exciting as well.
Now I want to talk about getting paid for videos versus doing it for free. Now, this one I want to go with that. Now, of course, you're at the level where you're getting paid. You have a track record. But how many of you did you come in the game getting paid, or did you have to do a few free just for exposure to get to that level to start getting paid?
When I first started, I definitely did. But yeah, you know, that's definitely part of, you know, the industry as well. You have to build your way up. You have to, you know, make a name for yourself, and you have to have that consistency within your work so that people, you know, will come back to you, and, you know, be confident, you know, when they do have a bigger client and they do have that budget for that. So yeah, that was something that it was good. It was also good, you know, practice for me to just, you know, get out there and start being in a professional environment and, you know, becoming more comfortable in that setting. But yeah, I think you definitely get to a point where you start, you know, realizing, you know, if this is, you know, if you still want to take those jobs, or if you do want to take those jobs, if you don't, or if you do want to take those jobs. I think sometimes, you know, I think everyone does, you know, favors here and there, you know,
Right.
in their line of work, because,
Right.
you know, it keeps those certain relationships going. Right. So I think sometimes, yeah, when you get to a certain level, it's still okay to do things like that sometimes, because that's part of your networking. That's just like if you were going out to a club or an event and you were meeting, you know, those types of people. You know, it's honestly more of a intimate setting where you get to really network with those people. So I don't ever like shun people away from doing things like that. I definitely say in the beginning, definitely get your hands on any opportunity that you can, because it's going to build those relationships for you in the future. And it's also going to give you that practice and that knowledge of what to be prepared for later on.
And the reason I asked that because a lot of females who are trying to get into this business, especially with it being now with this newer generation, the first thing they say, and they don't even have a track record. They might be pretty, but they don't have a track record. They don't have credentials. And the first thing they say, you got to pay me for your video. One side of me gets that, but the other side of it is you might be losing an opportunity because you're looking for money. You're not looking at the bigger picture. You follow what I'm saying? So that's why I want you to kind of speak on that. Sometimes you got to take that leap just to get the exposure. And then you'll
exactly.
you'll get to the point where you start realize, you know what, I got X amount of videos under my belt that constantly calling me. I might have to throw a price out there now. But come in, and again, you got to take it on the chin sometimes. So that's why I wanted you to speak on that. You did.
Right.
With that being said, I want to ask you this. At what point, you've been in this 13 years, how many years in did you realize, I can kind of make a living off this? It's coming consistent.
For a while, I was going back and forth with, working in the entertainment industry. And then I was also teaching. I was doing a lot of choreography and traveling and doing that. And, there's a good living in that side of things as well. But like I missed being in the entertainment industry fully. And, of course, when I was just getting in, it was, a grind because I was, just taking baby steps. I was crawling, like I was just figuring everything out. But, now like, being in this for so long, like, I finally got to the point where I was like, I've just got to dive fully in, I've got to dive like deep in, like I can't be doing anything else, but like fully focusing on this. And honestly, that's when like more doors started opening up and I was able to be full-time, freelance with what I do, because I was able to allot the time that I was focusing on other things to how am I going to build what I'm focused on? So I think that's a big thing for a lot of people in this industry. Like they don't, want to move to the city that they feel like they need to be in, or they don't want to, give up this side job because they're worried financially, if this is like a pipe dream or if this is something they can actually do. And I just say, try it, like just dive, right in, like just meet people, network, like devote all your time to, submitting for jobs or like, going to events or supporting other artists, because just those little things, and even on social media too, like, supporting, your fellow entertainment friends, because no matter what industry or what part of the industry they're in, they can always open a door for you. And so for me, that's when things started changing was when I just, I quit everything else and was just solely focused on this. And, it every time I was available for a job, right? Every time someone was asking who's available, I was available. And so then people started calling me directly because they knew I was available. They knew I didn't have any other priorities. So I think that's a big part of it for sure.
I'm glad. Nice breakdown. I'm going to ask you this, put you on the spot. Out of all the videos you've done, which one was the one, your best experience, or the one that you was like, man, yeah, I can't believe they called me?
Oh man.
Give me one.
So honestly, I think my favorite experience was recently Keith Sweat was producing a music video for an artist that he's bringing on his team. He's pretty much like his manager, producer, like he's guiding this kid into the entertainment industry. And so I was playing the artist's love interest. So I was hired as a lead for this video. But Keith wrote the whole story of the video. He was there directing us. I mean, we were acting, we were speaking, we were having to emotionally connect, like as if we were like a couple. Like I had a crying scene. I had, all these like very emotional moments. And it was just very cool because I stood there for a second. I was like, oh my God, like I have a legend in front of me, like directing me right now, and like, it was just, it was a 2-day, like, 12-hour-a-day shoot. And it was just like very inspiring. It was a very cool experience.
Now, you were nominated, or you won this year, the 2022 SCA Awards, Southern Entertainment Awards, Impact Model of the Year. What does that mean? Impact Model, explain that, break that down.
So for me, that means that that I'm doing something in my community that is different, that I'm impacting others, I'm influencing others, if you may say. And these awards, you have to be nominated by, your fellow, entrepreneurs that are also peers that are also doing the same thing. So, I was honestly humbled. I was excited because, just to get, noticed or recognized in your city, when you're hustling every day and you're, doing all these different things. It's just, it was really awesome. I was very excited about that.
And you nominated again for 2023, same award, right?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Very
Tell everybody how
excited.
they can go vote. How they can go vote for you. How can they go vote? What website? Whatever.
So if you go to the Southern Entertainment Awards website, there is an option where you can scroll down and you can go through all the categories, all the genres, and you can scroll down to Impact Model of the Year, and you can click on my name and vote for me. So vote for me.
All right, y'all. So go to SCAAwards.com, scroll down, Impact Model of the Year. Let's vote for Miss Ash Ross. They'll get an award for the second time. You dig? So, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Moneybag Yo out of Memphis has a new biopic coming out. And you are over the makeup for that.
Yep.
How the hell did that happen?
So again, this was through someone that had referred me to this production company that I'd actually only done a couple of music videos with a couple of the guys on their team. But this was someone who was not even connected with that job and referred me. They were looking for makeup artists. And so I went in, I auditioned, and they hired me as the head of the department. So I got to hire my own crew underneath me. And I had about 5 girls that were helping me with hair and makeup every day. We shot for about 3 weeks. And then we went on hold. So we're still filming. We're in the process of finishing right now. But it's going to be a very impactful film. It's very real. It's very raw. I mean, it is telling, everything. There's no filter to this movie. So it's going to be something to watch for sure.
Is it a rough release date for this yet?
I'm sorry?
Is it a release date for it, roughly?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, on the makeup tip, you also do the makeup for Love and Hip Hop, which is a reality show that all y'all out there watch. How did that job land in your hand? And what's the experience like on the set of Love and Hip Hop? How did you get that job also?
This was another referral. This was actually a casting director who I had modeled for a few times. Okay. And just within conversation and just getting to know, me and me getting to know her, and her, keeping up with, what I was posting on my Instagram and all of that. She brought me on as makeup artist, and I was the head of that team as well. So this was an episode where they had a runway show for Grassy Noir, and so I had to do all of the models that were in the runway show for the TV show.
Okay. Now, you made a cameo appearance in Tyler Perry's series, Zatima. I love that. I love Zatima. I love Sisters. So explain the experience on set with that, and what was the experience on set with that? Like, it was some of the shit that was going on off camera, like shit that people wouldn't believe unless they were just there to actually experience that.
This was actually my first job working with Tyler Perry. So this was pretty exciting for me because that was a bucket list for me. But it, I had submitted for this job, and I didn't get a whole lot of details going into the submission. So when I got a call from the casting director, she told me that that what I had submitted to, they actually wanted to cast me for a different role. They wanted me to play one of the actor's girlfriends. So she was like, this is gonna be like, really exciting. And like, would you be okay with it? There's probably going to be a kissing scene. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So it was really cool. Like even just walking on Tyler Perry's set, I mean, it's huge. It's a city, so just seeing like what he's created was just like amazing. And then just seeing the whole process of them, building the sets in just such a quick turnaround is just, amazing, mind blowing. They made our scene. We were supposed to be filming in kind of like a cabana club. And this was a full set that they built in like half a day. So it was just amazing. It's amazing what they can do, in such a quick turnaround. And I literally met my boyfriend for the scene walking onto the set. And we said a couple words, and then we did our scene.
Cool.
So it wasn't like I got to like get to know him and get comfortable. It was like, nope. Tyler just works so quick, and he's just on. He's got so much going on that he's just on to the next thing. So it was definitely an interesting experience, but it was cool getting to watch him direct, us and just be in that environment. It was exciting.
You got a lot of females that want to get into this entertainment industry and do what you do. Of course, we know what the glitz and glamour is in front of the camera, but explain the pros and cons that come with this shit that people wouldn't know.
I definitely think that, it's a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. There's, a lot of hustle that goes into it as well. You have to constantly be, putting yourself out there. You have to constantly be like auditioning and submitting for these jobs and like building relationships and, networking and all these things. And then you have to be, getting back to these jobs like very, very quickly. So you have to be on your phone constantly. And it gets a little bit overwhelming at times, but, I think every job, there's going to be, pros and cons. And, as long as like you're doing what makes you happy, I think that those things will always outweigh, the hustle that it took you to get there.
Well, before we get out here, Miss Ashley Rogers, let everybody know what you got going on, what's coming up next, what we'll be looking for, and also give them your contact information, email, Instagram, so they can follow you or reach out if they're trying to do business. Give them the spiel, please.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram. My IG is Ashley Rogers Entertainment. I am constantly like working on new projects, and I have recently started casting some projects as well. So stay in touch with me. Let's link up. Let's get to know each other. And I look forward to meeting you all.
That was a lovely model, Miss Ashley Rogers. Thank you for tuning in. This is your homeboy, Model Pimp, a.k.a. MTP. And that was another edition of the Pimpoholic TV Podcast. Go to my website, www.modelpimp.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. at Mall of Pimp, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is called Pimpoholic TV. And we out of here. Salute.